I've done all types of work. Now he doesn't work, he just sits around. In downtown Berdashen, 85 to 90-year-old men fill the time by reminiscing, complaining, and hoping for a better day. Murad hopes for the return of his son, who has left the village for Russia. I keep telling him to come back, to come to Yerevan, Stepanakert, Shushi. I told him if he doesn't listen to me and come back, he's no longer my son. You're angry with him? Yes. Why? Because he has left me and gone away. But he's gone away to work and make a living. He can work here too. I'm no longer able to work, but he can do so many things here. Make wine, distill arak, pick mulberries, and make molasses. It's not right, Grandpa Murad keeps saying, directing his frustration at all young people who don't share his views. The problem is that the young people of our town don't want to touch any work tool, whether it's a shovel or a hammer. Grandpa is exaggerating a bit. In Berdashen, rarely do you see a young man or woman at noontime. That's because they're busy working away in the fields and vineyards. 20 families from Berdashen, which has a population of 1,600, have migrated to Russia. Usually they come visit their birthplace around fall, when wine is made. If there's no hail to damage our crops, each one of us can make between 100 and 200 liters of wine. Before the war, we had 550 hectares of vineyards. Now only 110 hectares are left. That's because during the war, the Azeris had taken positions above the vineyards, while our positions lay below them. The vineyards were caught in the crossfire. Although the overall area of the vineyards has been reduced by 5 times since the war, there's an inexhaustible supply of wine in Berdashen, as water has been in the past 7 years. In 2008, Armenia Fund rebuilt the community's potable water network. The underground pipes had disintegrated or ruptured. But then, in 2008, the entire network was rebuilt, using polyethylene pipes, which are extremely durable as well as sanitary. The project was co-sponsored by the Argentinian Armenian community and the government of Nagorno-Karabakh. I've seen the hardships that local residents have gone through in the past, as they had to carry water to their homes in jugs and buckets. Now, every home has around-the-clock access to water. The purity of the water, which comes from 43 wells, is continually monitored, Asurian says. The drinking water, which comes from underground wells built centuries ago, is clean to the extreme. The fact that we now have around-the-clock access to water is a great leap forward. Today, there are even cities that don't have access to water. The conversation intensifies at downtown Berdashen's self-declared Senate. We're in the habit of begrudging this or that person for having a better life. We Armenians are prone to jealousy. The Second World War has claimed the life of Yerash Movsisyan's father, the Artsakh War those of his mother and son. His grandson miraculously survived the shelling of their home. The force of the exploding bomb had hurled the child from the lap of his grandmother and landed him under a couch. They panicked as they looked for the child. Then they turned around and found him huddling underneath the couch. Those who were toddlers at the time of the war now have children of their own. Today, the village celebrates the weddings of those who were born after the war. On such occasions, the oldest barrels of wine are opened. In the old days, our grandparents kept the wine in casks and barrels. On the day my only son was getting married, we opened a 45-year-old barrel of wine to celebrate the occasion. There were 300 of us at the wedding banquet. That is the barrel. Afterwards, the very year he was married, my son once again grew his vines, made wine, and filled it in the same barrel. God willing, he will have a child, and will get to open the barrel on his or her wedding day too. In this village of Artsakh, the only untouchable barrels of wine are those kept for the day that peace will at last be restored. Berdashen has given 31 lives to the War of Liberation.